Leak a little bit, so let me see if I can get that drip in there for you. Where the overflow, but as soon as I turn the gas off, and we should be able to pop it off. So I'm gonna use a 7mm. Around the garage, make it white and fresh. On the Honda, it's gotta be that. It is the Honda garage. Hey guys, and welcome back to Scotty Knows. Welcome to somewhat the new garage. I still got a lot of cleaning to do, but it's coming along fantastically. So later on in the video, maybe I'll show you a quick update, a little tour of what I got going on in the garage. Some cool little features, and it's coming along very well, so I'd like to share that with you guys. However, today, what I plan on doing is actually working on my other Honda today, the TRX 250, the four-wheeler. So in the last video, you've seen where I replaced all the wheels with the front wheels on there. And we did a little bit of riding, so it's got a little bit of dirt on there. But as I was riding, I noticed that I got a fuel leak going on, which I think is coming from the overflow inside the carburetor. So I bought me a rebuild kit, and that's something I'm going to tackle today. So I want to take you guys along with me to see if we can knock that out and see if we can fix that carburetor. It's probably just a float that I'm thinking is stuck, but I got a whole new rebuild kit, so we're just going to go ahead and take it apart and knock that out. It shouldn't take too long. So stay tuned, we'll knock that out, and then at the end I'll show you a tour of the garage. So stay tuned. So here we are in the other garage with the four-wheeler here. I'm not too dirty. I did get about 45 minutes of riding in. Got the wheels a little dirty down here. Just getting some use. However, on the fuel drain here, it seems to be leaking. Everything is tight, but if I turn the fuel on, should be able to recreate that leak. So once everything gets kind of full up here, just seemed to kind of leak a little bit. So let me see if I can get that drip in there for you. And we'll see about getting this thing rebuilt. So there it goes. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. I'm gonna turn the fuel on. I think the float's stuck to where the overflow, but as soon as I turn the gas off, no problem. So let me take this thing apart here. We're gonna see if we can get to that carburetor and take it off. Should be a couple 10mm bolts, and we should be able to pop it off. So let me do that. But first, what I'm gonna do is actually loosen the screw and drain the rest of the fuel out of the carburetor. That way when I take it off, it's not too much of a mess. So let me grab some tools and we'll hop on here taking this thing apart. Pain with the air box in here. I was able to get it out. I do got to get this piece off here for the choke cable, and then we should be able to take everything out and be good to go. So let me hop on that. Alright guys, so here we have it here. I got it sitting on some cardboard. I do have some carb cleaner. I got me a little bristle brush here to kind of clean up all the gunk. It's kind of dirty. You can probably see here. So I'm gonna kind of clean this up a little bit. I do have my new rebuild kit. It's actually by High Caliber. I'm going to use this. It's very similar to the Moose. I've seen some other people use the Moose kits. This is, pretty much the same thing. So it does come with the jets and everything I need to replace this. So we're going to hop on this and see if we can knock it out. So let me get this clean, and then we'll start taking it apart. So it did get a little bit cleaner. I mean, it's not 100%. I mean, definitely could use a little bit more scrubbing, but that's really not the premise of today's video. My goal was just to kind of make sure I get this thing apart and make sure it runs. So we're gonna start taking it apart, take the fuel thing off, fuel line off, and take this floated bowl apart. So let me go ahead and knock that out. There's a spring in there. You gotta make sure you grab that out too. So I always want to count the threads here to see how many turns it is. 1, 2, 3. Write that down and take it out. Alright, so I got all the old stuff out, the float. I'll clean that a little bit better before I put it in. But what we're going to do is install the jets. So this is from the new kit here. You don't have to tighten it too much. It is brass and aluminum here, so you don't want to over tighten it, break something, and cause any problems. So we'll just make sure it's nice and snug. Perfect. Then we'll grab the other jet. I'll get this tightened up. Here it is, a 7mm. Make sure it's kind of tight in there. Should be good. So I was kind of looking at this float valve here, and it's kind of deteriorated, kind of corroded, which I think could have probably led to some of my problem. So I do have a new one here. We're going to install this like so. Plug it in. here we're going to go ahead and replace the gaskets. I don't really think anything was wrong with the gaskets, since one came with the kit. This one does look a little worn, it's probably original. We'll go ahead and pop that out. I'll go ahead and clean this off. And we're going to go ahead and replace this one as well. And we'll go ahead and clean this out, pop the new ones in. So a new gasket. Alright, so now that I got that in, I'll go ahead and put this piece in, put the new O-ring on, as well as a new spring. Okay. Alright, so new idle screw. Here's the old one, new one. We'll go ahead and set that in. So got this all kind of put back together here. Go ahead and put this back on. Alright, so it's ready to go, and we'll get it back on the bike here in just a minute. Alright, so I got everything on. Putting the choke on was a little difficult. I did take a picture just to make sure I got it right. But I got the 2 bolts in. Gonna put the throttle cable back in. There's really only one way that it goes. We'll try to get it in that way. Get the fuel line on, and naturally I have to tighten that. Let me get all this tightened up, and then we'll check to see if I got a leak. Alright, so we got the gas on. We're going to see if it starts to leak any gas. A little bit of gas. A little bit better than it was. So I may have to take it back apart and check it out. So stay tuned for that, guys. Alright guys, and welcome back to Scotty Knows. It's actually the next day here. And I got the fuel to stop leaking, so that's positive. I actually had the fuel on here for the past probably 10 or 15 minutes just to make sure it's not going to leak. I'll go ahead and fire it up here in a minute. But it's not leaking, so that's good. I did have to take the carburetor back off and actually clean it out. Again, right where the plunger goes for the float. And it was a little bit more debris in there. I could have probably done a little bit more efficient job. That necessarily wasn't the issue. When I did put it back on, it was still leaking, coming out the hose here. So what I ended up doing was loosening the screw for the fuel, getting all the fuel out, and taking some compressed air with my air hose, forcing it up the hose. I made sure I did wear eye protection not to get any gasoline in my eyes, but pulled this screw out completely and blew everything out for about probably 10 or 15 seconds. Connected everything back up, and it seems to be working good. So just to kind of show you, if I actually loosen this up, see, gas coming out, tighten it back up, and it stops. So it seems to work. So I probably didn't necessarily need a new rebuild kit for it. Probably just need to put some air through it, but you know, for the $20 kit, you know, I got some extra parts for it in case I need to rebuild it. But overall, seems to work out pretty well. Seems to work, so I'm happy with that, and we should be good to go. So let me see if I can crank this thing up before it gets too late out here, and see if I can get this thing to work well. Alright, so let's see if I can get this thing to fire up here. Alright, so I guess I gotta adjust the air and all that kind of stuff, but hey, it runs, so I'm pretty happy with that. As far as I can tell, no leaking gas, and I'm in good shape. Alright guys, here's a quick garage update. Got the dose hole kind of cleaned up, got most of the dust off, still got some cleaning to do. Got my pictures hung up. Coming along. Gotta have my coffee maker. Hot Wheels collection. I got some more cleaning to do. Gotta hang some more banners up in there, but it's definitely coming along. Gotta paint the doors, add some trim. More trim around the windows. Very soon I'll have this area picked up enough that I can bring my other car in here. So stay tuned for that. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of Scotty Knows. I appreciate you guys checking it out. Coming along for the garage update. A lot is going to be coming on, so check it out soon. Hopefully here very soon, maybe in the next episode, I'll get my Civic over here. I do have the room in the garage, so I'll be able to kind of get hopping on that and get that rolling, because that's kind of my goal to get that done. So hopefully I'll get that done, so stay tuned for that. And of course I do got some tuning to do yet on the Honda four-wheeler, so stay tuned for that. I'll get that done and get that running smooth. Maybe give you an update on that as well. But thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave comments below. If you have any suggestions or any additions I should add to the garage, let me know. I'm always up for the feedback in the comments. So again, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode.